Imagine you go to vote and realize that your neighborhood has been split in half, and now your vote is mixed in and lost with people hundreds of miles away from you. Would you still feel like your vote counts? Redistricting may seem unimportant, but it can shape how our votes are counted and how we are represented. According to the Bipartisan Policy Center in 2025, redistricting is when electoral districts' boundaries are redrawn. It becomes gerrymandering when the lines are drawn to favor one political party or diminish the influence of certain groups. Indiana's 2025 redistricting can significantly impact how different communities are represented in our government. Whether you care about politics or not, it all still influences the way of our vote. I personally am an Indiana resident, and I have been, following this closely. First, I will explain Indiana's history with gerrymandering. Subsequently, I will talk about the 2025 redistricting concerns that people have about gerrymandering. And finally, I'll touch on the possible impacts for communities in Indiana. First, let's begin by talking about Indiana's history with gerrymandering. The Indianapolis Recorder in 2025 explains that in the 1980s and 90s, there was redistricting in Black communities in the far east and southwest of Indianapolis. Experts argued that the redrawing broke minority communities and limited their ability to vote for their candidate of choice. It also states that after the 2010 census, they split communities in the east and northwest of Indianapolis. These examples show how gerrymandering has historically been used in Indiana to favor a political party at the expense of minority communities. When communities are divided, their residents are disconnected from their representatives and unable to advocate for themselves in their local issues. Understanding the history gives context for the concerns about gerrymandering. Next, I'll talk about the concerns people have for this redistricting. A 2025 PBS NewsHour article explains that the redistricting proposal was made to benefit Republican candidates in the midterms. They are trying to make it easier for Republicans to have all 9 congressional seats. This redistricting would once again break minority communities in Indianapolis. This reflects classic gerrymandering tactics that prioritize political advantage over fair representation. This tactic spreads a certain group of voters across multiple districts to reduce their influence altogether. Redistricting and gerrymandering also weakens the accountability of elected officials. The way we hold them accountable is with our vote. How can we hold these officials accountable when our vote is severely diluted? With this in mind, let's address how the 2025 redistricting can impact communities across the state. According to a FYI Indianapolis 2025 article, the redistricting would split Marion County, which includes Indianapolis, again, from 1 district to 4. This makes it so communities with similar concerns like affordable housing, transportation, education, and gun violence prevention would now be divided and placed alongside areas with very different issues. This means that people's ability to obtain the resources they need are significantly weakened. Moreover, redistricting and gerrymandering wipe out our democracy. When districts are drawn to favor one political party, it makes it so the other ones have little chances to win fairly. Today we touched on Indiana's history with gerrymandering, talked about the 2025 redistricting proposal and why it raises concerns, and looked at potential impacts across communities in the state. Gerrymandering is So to wrap this all up, gerrymandering and redistricting influences who gets represented, how much of it counts, and the resources a community can receive. Breaking districts apart, especially in places like Indianapolis, can dilute minority voting power and weaken the connection between residents and their officials. Redistricting might just seem like lines on a map, but it's people's voice, influence, and livelihoods.